got my own computer. I was so psyched to explore a whole new world. I just don't feel normal. My friends are nice, but they just don't get me.
I feel like such a weirdo!
Where do you go to be understood? I found this online show. I can call in. I can express myself. Be on TV. Weirdos TV. Weirdos.com. Sometimes a stranger can be your best friend.
Oh, yeah. Wow, Sympatico. All right, now it's almost time for the guest, but this is better. I mean, until the guest shows up. on their way. The guest is almost here. Because we have 1 minute left until it's time for the guest. 1 minute left till it's time for the guest. 1 minute left till it's time for the guest. Woo! Oh, we're down to 40 seconds now. Pretty soon, you'll never know. It could happen. It might be in 30 seconds. It might even be less because now time has passed. Time passes very quickly. And I don't understand because everyone says that life is short. But I don't think life is short. I think life is so long. So long. So long. So long. We have a guest. We have a guest coming down the lane. Coming down the lane. We have a guest coming down the lane. Hi, Lane. Wait.
How you doing, Jeremy?
Oh, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Very curious about what this show is going to be.
Ah, me too. I keep wondering about that. I've been thinking about it. You know, I thought about it. I was thinking about it last night. And here's the thing. For me, time doesn't really pass the way that it does for you. You know? Like, time for me is only this moment. I'm always here in this moment. Here I am. And then you came along. So now the moment seems different because I'm not alone. Right? It's clearer. I'm here with you. But it's still the same moment. The clock goes around and around, but it's still the same moment. Time. Anyway, I'm glad you're here because it helps me to break up the time when I have a guest. It seems like something's happening as opposed to the rest of the time when I'm just, well, you know, I do musical numbers and entertain myself mainly. But you're a guest. I mean, if you were, let me ask you this. Are you in the left lane or are you in the right lane? Right lane?
Right lane.
You drive down the middle of the road?
Finish lane.
Finish lane. Finish line.
Okay.
Breakdown lane. Have you tried the breakdown lane? It's very efficient. Nobody's in there unless they break down. That's what I do. I go in the breakdown lane. I broke down. Had a complete breakdown. It was a nervous breakdown, but I wasn't really that nervous. I knew it would be okay. I just wanted to break down. Break it down. So what did you think was going to happen when you came on the show? Did you have any expectations at all?
No, I looked at the first video.
Yeah.
I guess it was your face.
Yeah, it usually is. It's like the show. Most of the show is me. It's my show. It's me.
Well, my first thought was, oh God, I hope I'm not supposed to be making a video to turn in.
No. I would have told you. If there was anything that you needed to know to make this appearance different or better, I would have told you. I would not spring this on you and be like, you were supposed to. No, you weren't supposed to do anything. So, right. So, okay. So you saw right away that maybe some video would happen. But you see, you don't have to make the video. The video's made. And here you are in the video. You're on TV. That's what's happening. You're on TV. So, okay. So think about it this way. How many times have you been on television in your life?
Once that I know of.
Just one other time. So, now, it's different for me, Lane. I'm always on TV. I only exist on TV. There is no me outside of the show. There's only the show for me. I know you leave the video. You get to go into the, quote, real world. But is it any more real than this, really? I mean, is it really real? Or does it just appear to be real? The illusion of reality. So, here we are. We're in this moment. You're here. I'm here. You're on television. It's not something you get to do every day. Not like me. But what I'm getting at here, Lane, is you should make the most of your appearance. Now, I can give you some advice, having had a lifetime of experience on television. And what I would say is you should do something very violent. People like violence. Just, I don't know, kill somebody, kill yourself. Something violent. That's what people like. Get great ratings. What do you think? You want to just, some blood sacrifice? Do you think that would work for you? No, I didn't think so. All right, well, the next thing that we usually do on television, if we're not willing to kill someone, which is it's always my go-to, I'll just kill somebody. I don't care. I'll kill myself. I've lived 1,000 times, so I die again. I'll tell you something about death, Lane. It is an experience which I never hesitate strongly to recommend. Underrated. But, okay, you don't want to do violence, so, of course, the next choice is sex. So I think what you need to do is something very sexy. Sexy. Sex appeal. Sexy. What do you think? You want to do something sexy on the show? No. Yeah. All right. Well, we're running low on options. I'll be honest with you right here, Lane. We're getting down to the bottom of the barrel, but it's okay. I got a lot of tricks up my sleeve, so we'll go further into the barrel. All right. If you're not going to do violence, you don't want to do sex. I hear ya. Not everybody wants to do sex. Look, I don't even have a body for the last 800 years. So I don't do sex. I don't even know. I haven't even thought about sex in 600 years. Not important. So, okay, no sex, no violence. Comedy. Comedy. Can you tell a joke? Any joke. Yeah, any joke. Go ahead.
You want to tell the joke?
Yeah, you're on television. We're trying. You understand? This is what we're working on. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm going too fast. I tend to do this. Please, always feel free to just stop me and say, Jeremy, I'm not getting it. You need to explain this more carefully. I'm really okay with that. I always think that everybody understands what I understand, but that's ridiculous. Nobody understands what I understand, and I mean nobody. In fact, I'm nobody, and I don't even understand that. So, I'm going to explain it again not for you really, more for the audience who needs to be clear on what I'm trying to ask of you in this moment. So I'm saying when I was a kid, 992 years ago, I saw a television show. This was, must have been 1975, something like that. And there was a show, it was on live. It was on Saturday night, about 11:30. I don't know what they called it. It was a live show, and it was on Saturday night. Very funny. It was the first time that they had done that sort of live television in many years. In the 50s, Jack Benny, Milton Berle, everybody did live. You had no choice. You couldn't do a rerun. There was only live. So here it is, 1975, and they decide they want to bring it back, and they do this live show. I forget what it was called.
Saturday Night Live.
It was live. It was on Saturday nights. It was from New York. They did it in New York, and I think they would start the show and they would say live from New York. It's Saturday night, which we all knew. I mean, it was obvious. It wasn't like we forgot what day it was. We knew it was Saturday. I don't know why they kept saying that at the beginning of the show. They would say live from New York, which I knew because that was the reason I was watching the show, because it was live. And then they would say it's Saturday night. I'm like, right, and last night was Friday, and tomorrow will be Sunday. Well, anyway, I forget what the show is called. But Gilda Radner was on it, and she was beautiful. And Gilda's with me now. Important. Gilda. La Dolce Gilda. Anyway, I digress. So I'm a kid. I see this show. I'm a tiny little kid, 7 or 8 years old, sitting on my nanny's knee. And we watch it together. All of them. They from the beginning with Steve Martin and Paul Simon came on, and George Harrison and the Beatles almost got back together, and Devo was on, and everybody, and Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa was the first guy to host the show who was also the musical guest. And Frank is very important to me. anyway, there was this show, and I wanted to do a show just like that when I grew up. And now I do. Now I do this live show. I'm always live. Right now, we're live on the air. And it's, my God, it's Saturday night. We must be doing that show I was talking about. Now, Gilda's not here, and Chevy Chase is on painkillers, and Dan Aykroyd is fat, but Bill Murray is available. I'll call Bill. Anyway, it's Saturday night, we're on TV, and we're live, but what I realized as a kid is that you don't want to waste that moment, right? Now, even if you're on only once a week, that's a lot, right? 52 times a year. Here you are, your second time on television ever. Now, don't blow it. Don't fuck it up. You want to make this TV appearance mean something. This is for posterity, Lane. Someday, some crazy idiot is going to be searching through YouTube. And for no apparent reason, they're going to select the video that I'm going to edit together of you and me and Weirdos doing this stupid, endless, ridiculous, pedantic, absurd comedy bit where I'm trying to tell you to do something, which you clearly are fully equipped to do, but I'm stalling because that's what I do. The show is about stalling. So I'm stalling and I'm trying to convince you that you'll do something on the air that'll be great. It'll change your life. It'll change my life. It'll change the world as we know it. Just in a small way. I don't mean in a way like Einstein or Einstone or Einstein. Just your way, Lane. I want you to express yourself tonight in a way that it should feel like a bit of a personal risk for you. You know, nothing big. A little risk, something that you've thought about doing, like maybe in your heart you're a poet. Are you a poet?
No.
Would you like to be?
No.
You sure? The hell of a life being a poet.
Well, my brother's a poet.
Right? And how does he feel about being a poet?
Oh, he loves. He reads the books.
Now,
he appears before people.
I hear you, and I'm not asking you to become a poet like your brother forever. I get that your brother has chosen the life of poetry. It's not an easy life. Not an easy life. But that's not what I'm asking of you. I'm saying, here you are on television. So imagine you're your brother, and you're on television, you're like, damn it, I'm not going to miss my chance to get my poetry on television. But it's just try it on for size, like a pair of shoes. Imagine you're your brother, and here you are on television. You want to make good. You want to make a good impression. So you're going to make up a poem. You don't have one prepared. But you're going to make it up now, and it's just going to be spontaneous. And when I stop talking, the next thing that you say, whatever it is, it could be a mess of nonsense, or it could be the most beautiful thing ever. It doesn't matter. You're going to say a poem. And it may not sound like a poem, right? It could sound like a song or just a newspaper article, but the words that come out of your mouth, they will constitute a poem because I said so. So I'm going to stop talking, you're going to say the poem, and then you'll be, for a moment, a poet. Go ahead.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I have a hound dog that looks like you.
Yeah. Good start. Continue. Right, I'll do the second verse. Violets are blue and roses are red. I don't have a body. I'm just a floating head. Okay, now you do the next one. Go ahead. Just make it up. Don't think about it. All right. Okay, I get it. Now I've got it. Now I understand. I've cracked the case like Columbo. Do you like Columbo?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know Columbo's first name? Do you? Yeah. No, you don't. You know why you don't know Columbo's first name? Because they never said it in the show. Never, not one time did they say in the show what his first name is. It was never said. However, if you're a good detective like me, I studied with Sherlock Holmes. So if you're a good detective like me, and you were watching the show, as a detective does, you'd have seen in one episode, the one with Leonard Nimoy, that you get to see a piece of paper that gives you the first name of Lieutenant Columbo. It's Frank. Frank is his first name, but you wouldn't know that. It's nothing to be ashamed of. If you knew that his name was Frank, I'd say, oh, you're a detective like him, but you're not, and you don't need to be. It's just one thing to be. Now, tell me, what is it that you do for fun, Lane? Like, what's the most fun thing you do?
I research why people act like they do.
Yeah, nice research. Do you know anything about math?
Yeah, I don't like
I got a math problem. It's killing me. I'm looking for a mathematician to help me solve it. It's not important. What do you like to research? What do you research?
things that help me understand how people act or why they act.
Like psychology? Psychological?
Psychology.
Okay. Do you know a psychologist? Do you ever research a psychiatrist? His name was Ronald Lang, Laing.
No.
Yeah. Well, no, I recommend it. He was a good friend of mine. We didn't usually call him Ronald. We just called him RD. We called him by his initials, RD. So RD, Mr. Lang, Dr. Lang, Professor Lang, he had a specific belief about psychology, about madness. And RD, Ronald, he believed we were all crazy, is what he believed. He didn't think that some people were not crazy and some people were crazy. No. Ronald, he was quite sure we were all crazy. Just some more than others. But definitely, according to my friend RD, we are all crazy. It's just a matter of degree. Now, I happen to agree with him because I am completely insane. I don't know if you noticed. Some people find it obvious. Other people find it frightening. I'm okay with it. I happen to be totally insane. It's fine. So, as an insane person, I really appreciated that Ronald could see that I'm not any different than other humans. They're crazy too, just not as crazy as I am. So, if you research Ronald, RD, besides his very extensive books on psychology, one of them, the one I'd recommend is called The Politics of Experience. Like his most famous book on what you're talking about. Why do people do what they do? What can we understand about the actions people take and the things that they say about what they do, especially the things that some of us think are crazy? Why do they do that? What do they have to say about that? Okay, so then he writes a book of poetry, which is why I bring it up. So he wrote a book of poetry. It's called Knots. Not like it's not a book, like a knot that you make in a rope with a K, like a kettle. But you don't pronounce it the K because you just pronounce the N. It's not a K that you say knot. So the knots that he's referring to are not knots in rope. The knots that my friend Ronald RD is referring to, they're emotional knots. You get tied up in an emotional knot. Did that ever happen to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty common. So the book is very helpful. If you read the poems, it'll help you untangle the knot. Like a massage therapist will work on a physical muscle, a knot in your muscle. These poems, they'll work on your emotional knots. It's not a problem. It's not the only. Oh, here's one. So, shot and knot, they're cowboys. And they're in a duel. They're fighting. Like cowboys fight. They're walking down the street and they pull out their guns. And so shot at Knot. Now Knot, not wanting to be shot, quickly shot at shot. Now, as it happened, not shot. And luckily, neither not nor shot was shot. Happy ending.